Halo Infinite is officially done, as the next update will be its last. So we got some big news here in regards to Halo Infinite, and it is that it is done. The next major update is going to be the last update for the game, and they're going to be moving forward with the future of this series. It's not a shocking thing, I think, specifically because that they've moved to a new engine in Unreal Engine 5, and Halo Infinite has obviously been developed in their old Slipspace engine, which is something that we heard that hampered the development somewhat to get this game where it needed to be. But it is, I would say, a sad moment for Halo fans, and for anybody who has followed this game since it did release back in 2021. The whole story around Halo Infinite has just been a crazy whirlwind of events. If you remember the very first trailer that they did put out, then you got the Craig meme out of that. Clearly, the game wasn't fully ready to be shown off, and they showed it off. And if you didn't zoom in on Craig's face, you didn't zoom in on some of the assets in the background, the gameplay looked fun. It looked really, really good. And that actually played out all the way to the release of Halo Infinite. I would say that Halo Infinite is one of the best, if not the best, playing Halo that we've ever gotten in the franchise. Single player was awesome. The multiplayer gameplay, gunplay, maps, all that stuff was really, really well done. I go back to Halo Infinite all the time because of how good the game still does feel. And if you compare it to other Halos out there, I would put it up against any one of them and say that it is one of the best playing Halos that we have ever received. But it started off with that trailer, and then it got delayed. They shipped the Xbox Series X. It literally had Master Chief's face or helmet. He's not taking his helmet off in the video games. That's only in the TV shows, but they have Master Chief right there on the box itself. It's one of the major marketing things they're trying to use to push the sales of the Xbox Series X. Unfortunately, they didn't get to launch the game with the Xbox Series X, and they had to delay it an entire year. They come out with the free-to-play multiplayer and the campaign. The campaign was actually well received. I feel like people forget that. The campaign actually had good reviews. I believe it's in the 80s. I'm not exactly sure high or low 80s. I think it was actually in the higher 80s when I first did drop, but it was well received, and rightfully so. The campaign was fun. Wasn't perfect. You could tell that they had to cut a lot of stuff, and that there are things that, even if you got the art books, which I have the Halo Infinite art books, there were biomes and all of these different creatures and stuff that I think they wanted to put in the game. They just were too far behind on development to put that in. But all of that aside, the campaign was still a lot of fun. They did a great job with it, and it was overall well received. The multiplayer was the big change here that I would say was the downfall of Halo Infinite more so than anything. And that was the fact that they launched it without content. It was the first foray into being a free to play multiplayer game. And if you're a free to play multiplayer game, people will try it. People will give it a chance, but you have to have the content to match the amount of people that will want to give it a try. If it's not there, people go back to the older games that they are currently playing, the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, and whatever other FPS or third person or battle royale shooter multiplayer games that they are playing. And they dropped the ball significantly when it came to the content. They did end up picking up the content right now in Halo Infinite. And if you go into the multiplayer, it's amazing. Like, there's so much to do, from the Forge stuff to just the multiplayer modes that they add in there. If they keep this game still up and running and the servers going, there will be a multiplayer content for years and years to come. So they really did bounce back from that. But by that point, I think a lot of people, if they wanted those big numbers, had already moved on. And it was unfortunate because you have people that jumped in during the first month of Halo Infinite, didn't like that there was enough content in the multiplayer, and still think that the game hasn't changed since then, not knowing that the game right now is in an absolutely phenomenal state. It's in a phenomenal state now, but it's been in a phenomenal state for years and years now since the release in 2021. They did bounce back relatively good with bringing the content at a decent pace. But all of that to be said, none of that could save the game. The players' numbers never really shot up, at least on Steam. Don't know exactly what they were on Xbox. And now you take 343, they've switched over to Halo Studios. They're making their games in Unreal Engine 5. They're basically rebooting the entire franchise by doing the remakes. Halo Campaign Evolved. We're hearing Halo 2 and Halo 3 are also getting remade. They're launching the game on the PS5. So ending Halo Infinite makes sense, but it's unfortunate. And I think this is one of those games that in years from now will be looked upon extremely fondly. And people who played it will know how good of a game Halo Infinite was. But here is the report. Halo Infinite is dead. Its next big update is planned to be its last. Halo Studios says it's been a legendary run as the team shifts to other Halo titles. And we have here Halo Studios working on multiple Halo titles. I mean, what we've heard is the remakes of the first three, and then there's going to be another Halo entry, a Halo 7, which will be where the next multiplayer iteration comes in, because that is the biggest question. What are they doing with the next multiplayer version of this game? And are they continuing the story of Halo Infinite? Because the story I thought was decent. It wasn't the best in the world, but I enjoyed it and I want to see where it goes. And we don't actually know exactly what is going to happen. It says, ironically titled Operation Infinite, this update introduces a huge number of new armor sets and other cosmetics for players to earn, with a free 100 tier operation pass and more that will arrive on November 18th, 2025. And accompanying the update is a 2x boost for career rank and Spartan points, making it easier to unlock new equipment in the exchange. There's also a new armor sets in the Operation Pass dubbed Serpent, specifically designed to resemble the armor of Honor Guard elites seen in Halo 2, which is super cool. In universe, this armor specifically granted by the former Arbiter Thalvadam to Spartans that have proven themselves in combat alongside the swords of Sanghelios. Now, all of that to be said, there's over 200 new pieces of armor, lots of stuff that is coming from this. And they're saying here that there's customization being added for the recently added sets celebrating the fire team Osiris from Halo 5 Guardians. And that is going to close out the game. That is it. They put out this update, or they're talking about this update coming November 18th, and they put out this message saying, as the Halo Studios team shifts to focus to in-development projects such as Halo Campaign Evolved, we'd like to thank our Halo Infinite players for years of steadfast support. It's been a legendary run of seasons, events, fractures, and operations, with plenty of maps, modes, sandbox editions, Forge tool upgrades, and incredible memories along the way. None of those milestones would have been possible without the guidance and enthusiasm of our community. And looking ahead, you got Halo Campaign Evolved, and then whatever else they are going to be making beyond that, which we can foresee it's going to be the remakes of the other Halos. And then again, the other thing is, where are they going for the next main entry into this series? Will they also make another Halo Wars game? I think Halo Wars is phenomenal. I'd love to see that game get a third entry into the series. So it's a sad moment, I think, for people who have followed this game, played it, and I wonder how long they keep these servers up for it, and if they're going to at least let it live in some way or another. Are they going to take Halo Infinite and put it into some sort of package? It would be insane if they finally added more to Halo the Master Chief Collection, although I don't think that is the case, that they will go back to that, but it'd be pretty cool if they ended up adding that into that package as well, and you're getting the whole Master Chief Collection in there, because obviously in Halo Infinite, you're playing as Master Chief. But how long will they let it live? When will they turn it off? And what is the next main entry into the series? And I think right now, if you haven't checked Halo Infinite out, definitely go play it. Go check it out. See if you enjoy it, because this is going to be a pretty big update. There will be a lot to do. And I feel like it will get somewhat of a boost here if people know this is the end of times here for Halo Infinite as they've moved over to Unreal Engine 5. We've also heard a bunch of crazy things happening at the studio. There's the person who had that cryptic post that left the studio. Will we hear more about what's happening there? 343 and Halo Studios have had their share of issues, and will they be able to deliver going forward? From what we've seen from Campaign Evolved, one of the biggest issues right now is Unreal Engine 5 and just the stuttering and the things that are plaguing the overall engine and the way that the game is not 100% smooth. Of course, this game isn't out until 2026, and I think they'll get those things worked out. Graphically, everything they've upgraded does look phenomenal. They're adding a bunch of new features to it. The game did look very good, but are they going to be able to get this thing on track, ready for release next year with the whole 25th anniversary celebration that Xbox is planning with all of their major games? And will this truly kick off a new era of Halo? Because there's no multiplayer in that. And I do think that is something that needs to happen sooner rather than later. If you're getting a bunch of new people who have never played Halo before to play it, you're going to want to add something to keep them hooked for a very long time. And that will be whatever they have planned for multiplayer. Halo Infinite was supposed to be a 10-year project. It lasted 4 years, 2021 to 2025, and it's the end of it in terms of adding new content. They'll probably continue to support it for extended period of time, I would assume, but they'll need to have something new for multiplayer to get those people who've never experienced the game to have something to continue to play after they do end up playing the campaign. But I just wanted to talk about this because I loved Halo Infinite. Yes, it had its issues. I do think it is one of those games that in 10, 20 years from now, when people are talking about the Halo franchise, they're going to look on Halo fondly, even though there are a lot of detractors of this game who played it in the first couple of months and then still talk crap about it years down the road, not even giving it another chance with all of the new content that was added to it. But on the video there, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.